Thank you very much, Chairperson. And yes, I would also like to greatly appreciate the presentations and the initiative from the joint chairs and the committee, because frankly, it's information like this that empowers us as MPs to do our oversight role and have a look at it. And having said that, I think that perhaps the discussion that we're having here today is a discussion that we shouldn't be having, that other people should be having. And I think the professor indicated that comment towards the end, saying that this is a much bigger discussion that needs to incorporate the executive as well as the armed forces. And we actually need to work out what we want to be, because you can't be all things to all people, and certainly not with a finite wallet. So the situation is obviously the unfunded mandates have been much spoken about. The fact that the military is consistently drawn into issues that they haven't necessarily budgeted for, and then we're playing catch up. Mr. Murray indicated some of the numbers around that. And the fact that our maintenance and our equipment is what takes the hit on that. You know, we all remember the presentation from the Air Force and the Navy last year. We each were asking, you know, we just need R1 billion to do absolutely essential maintenance. Well, they weren't given that, and yet we sit with a situation where we're sitting with an unfunded organigram. 3 billion rand per annum that is unfunded, and the situation is that it was reported yesterday. The Defence Force is saying, look, we need 77,000 people. We've only got 73,000, but we need 77,000. And Treasury is saying, no, guys, you can't have it. You've got 3 billion rand too much already. So, you know, sort yourselves out. And I think this is the big issue is we need to work out what the Defence Force is going to be doing going forward. I note very well Dr. Kanyile's statistics or recommendation around a 4-to-1 support to combat split, and remembering as well that for the first time in the 26 years of democracy of this country, we're sitting with a credible military threat in the region, and something that is giving us all kind of, you know, thoughtful moments where we're considering what is our response going to be. So I think that the discussion needs to be held. What does government want the Defence Force to be? And can Treasury afford it? And, you know, there needs to be some sort of a realistic discussion. And we've spoken about this already, Chair. The Minister was on record the other day in front of this committee to say the defence review that we have is the defence review that we're going to be working with for the foreseeable future. So, you know, let's work on that. But the reality is we need to have a sit down and draw up serious, credible ideas of what we need the Defence Force to be, to the people of South Africa and to our region. And then we need to work out, can that be funded, and how can we get that funded going forward? And then we need to take that back to the Defence Force and say, right, guys, this is what we want you to be. This is where you are now. We need to work out the steps. And so the reality is, you know, there were a couple of comments about, you know, it's not a short-term thing. It's not a short-term project. We need to, you know, take a medium-term view or a long-term view. The reality is, step one to any recovery program, and all of the people that have been through drug rehabilitation or alcohol programs will tell you, step one is to admitting the problem. We haven't admitted the problem yet. We're still saying we need 77 or 78,000. We've only got 74. So let's admit the problem and let's work out what we want to be. Where are we going? And once we've done that, then we can start working to solve the problem and make sure that we bring the numbers down to where they need to be, or increase the other numbers to where they need to be, so that we can have a happy meeting in the middle. Thank you very much, Chair. And again, massive appreciation for the presentations.
Hey, thank you very